What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to hop into the Darth Revan event. I did unlock this character this week and wanted to give you guys kind of a low gear walkthrough of this. I tried to do a playthrough, but I lost quite a bit on some of the tiers, so I wanted to give you guys kind of the best way to get through those, and then show you kind of what gear levels I had to be able to make it through this event. So I think 2 characters are pretty needed. You need to get HK up to an OK level, and then Bastila Fallen is quite helpful as well. So we will hop over and get that started. But first, if this is your first time to the channel and this content was helpful for you, please consider hitting that subscribe button for some more Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes videos in the future. All right, let's hop over real quick and we'll take a look at gear levels. So Karth I had at gear 7, Canderous gear 7, Juhani gear 7, and then I had HK at gear 9. Now, Bastila Fallen was not at Relic when I did this. She was actually at gear 11. In the videos that I recorded, she's at gear 12. So, but you can make it through at gear 11. It just took me quite a few attempts on some of the tiers. A few of them are quite difficult to get through. So we'll take a look real quick. Mods, I just went with what the recommended mods were. None of these are very special except for Bastila Fallen. I did have pretty good mods going on her. I took Karth up to level 7 on all of his abilities. Canderous, same thing, just kind of went with the recommended mod set, nothing special there. And then level 7 on all of his abilities. Juhani, I did not invest much in, and the reason I didn't invest a lot into her is because she's not needed for the Malak event, and I just didn't want to inflate my GP, but I did throw mods on her. I went to get pretty much all the basics before we started running into these mats. So she was just kind of there to take a hit from time to time, but did not use her that often. So for Bastila, I did have everything maxed out for her. Force Bond is important in this. While it's not showing Revan in the leader slot, he does get benefit from this Force Bond ability if you have it maxed out. So it's definitely worth doing that. And then she's just a character that I'm building for another team, so I did have all of her abilities maxed out. HK, same thing as some of the other ones, went to level 7 on all of his abilities except for the leader, and then went with recommended mods. I did invest a little bit more into him as far as gear-wise concerned. I did get him up to level 9 because he is quite helpful. And then especially with the self-healing stuff that he's got, it did allow him to tank up some hits as well, just to have another character in there taking some of the hits. And like tier 4 and 6, you kind of, or 4 and 5 are kind of need some extra characters in there to take some hits for sure. So, all right, let's hop over real quick and we'll just kind of go ahead and get the video going here. All right, so tier 1, this one is primarily just teaching you Revan's abilities. So you go through against 3 characters, pretty easy stuff. You're just figuring out how to use his abilities. The third one here is going to give you the fear on them. The second one's an AoE shock, and then the first one will kind of double hit sometimes, and it puts buff immunity out. So he's just a solid character, but this is just kind of a walkthrough of giving you an idea of how to use him. And then as far as the story-wise goes, it's kind of like a arena thing where you're trying to get off this planet, and you're trying to get the funds to do that, and you've got Revan fighting in the arena to do that. So really the only one that is has any difficulty at all is this last guy. He's pretty easy to get through, to be honest. He's not too bad. So kind of an easy win there. This is kind of one of the give-me's. There's a few of these that are pretty easy to get through. This is definitely one of them. All right, so tier 2, you're actually getting to use some of your characters. I always went Karth lead because when Revan is in there, he affects Bastila. So he's not showing in the leader slot, but his leader abilities kind of do pass over to Bastila. This one's going after Juhani. This is another pretty easy one. She will take out probably a couple of your lower gear characters, but with a decently geared Bastila, and then Revan, she's pretty easy to get through. I did a lot of just the basic ability attacks here. I think she gets through my my Karth. I don't know if she gets through Canderous or not, but I'm pretty sure she takes down Karth. Oh, maybe not. They lived through it. Almost got him, though. I'm pretty sure she took out everybody in my initial playthrough except for Revan and Bastila. Alright, so this one is the first one that has kind of any bit of difficulty to it. And this one you're going up against 3 bounty hunters as you're looking for information on the Starforge. And I went after the Bruiser first and just kind of made sure I was keeping fear and ability block on the center bounty hunter. So he's got an ability that stacks up and essentially will one-shot at 4 stacks, I believe, will one-shot a character. But you can fear him to kind of knock that back, and then also it seemed like ability block was helping with him not getting stacks as well. So I went after the Bruiser first because he does continue to get taunt going, and then I went after the other character. She's more of an attacker, and then finished off the main guy last. So if you see the little blue mark on Cal Nord, you'll see that that's the stacks that I'm talking about. So when he gets enough of those, he will one-shot a character. I believe it's 4. He will one-shot. So really tried to make sure I was getting ability block and fears on him to kind of keep that from happening. And then the rest of it's kind of grinding out. It took me a little bit. I did this without watching any guides, so I had to figure out exactly how some of these things worked, which took me a little bit longer than normal. If I would have watched some guides, probably would have been helpful. And then from here, it's just beating down on this guy to get through. So just make sure you're doing ability blocks, and it's pretty easy from here. Alright, this one right here took a ton of RNG to get this one done. This guy, sometimes he hits a bazillion times, sometimes he just hits like maybe, I don't know, 7 or 8 times before you start getting turns in. But at lower level, it's just an RNG fest, and I found it better just to go get as much damage on him as possible. Fear and all that stuff really doesn't affect this character at all, so just go get the big hits and you know, pray to the RNG gods that you're able to get him. So he does retaliate on every hit, so he will counter every time that you hit him, and then he's got the AoE daze that hits pretty hard, and then he's just a beast. Even with a decent level Bastila, I think this probably, my initial playthrough probably took about 20 times to get the RNG right, and then when I was re-recording this, it took several times as well, probably another 20-25 times. Alright, so this one is one that I found to be quite difficult, especially with lower level characters, but the key here to me was getting the shock out with Revan, and then hitting a shock character with Bastila's lightning, which would be some major AoE damage to take out a lot of characters at once, was very, very helpful in the playthrough with this. So you'll see me do that several times as I go through this. This first one, I really just focus on the main leader guy, and then work up to that shock to get them out. Now, here you want to go after the turrets first, which I didn't do there, but I swap over. I use this to stun one, and then a lot of times I come back with a fear on the next one to try to keep them from hitting, because they do hit quite hard. You want to make sure you take both of those out first, and then focus on the rest of the characters. But same strategy here. I'm throwing shock out, and then getting over to Bastila Shan to hopefully hit a shock character and do a lot of damage. And here it comes. And you see, like, even at, she's gear 12 there, but even at gear 11, she's hitting quite hard doing that. Now, this wave right here, I found to probably be the most difficult. And the main thing came down to the RNG from the Marauders on who they were hitting with their big attacks. And they were my main focus. I wanted to get them out quickly because they could take out Revan. And if you lose If you lose Revan, HK, or Bastila at this point, you probably just need to go ahead and start over because you're not going to make it through the last wave. So make sure you're focused on Marauders when you can. You do have the ones that throw up the taunt there that you just can't get around. But the goal, again, is to hopefully get a shock out and then have Bastila do some major damage when it comes to her AoE when she hits a shock character. Thankfully, Revan does heal back up because of the Bastila thing, and then HK heals up as well. So you do get some healing going with this. And if you see, like, I've almost lost Revan here at this point, so it does definitely get dicey at times. And then now I've got the shock out, loads of damage, taking it out. All right, final wave. This one took me a little bit to figure out how to do this correctly, but what you want to do is leave one of the walker robots alive and then focus on the boss. But you want to take out all of the turrets and one of the walkers and then focus on the boss first. So I usually go straight after this riot turret here. Try to set up the same thing at some point. You want to get shocks, get that big AoE out. Just be careful that you don't, knock them all out and have to go against the boss. So the boss gets supercharged if he's by himself, and you could get through it if you had really good levels of damage. Your characters will level up a little bit better, but not gonna happen if you're trying to do this at low levels. So make sure that you're going after that. I do throw some fears over on the main boss from time to time when that's available, and then go to finish this off. And the rest of the time, you will be hitting with Revan's third ability, so it will throw a fear out on the other walker a lot, so you don't have to worry about it hitting at this point. Just be careful not to use shock, the lightning, if the shock is up, because you will easily take out that other walker. And from here, it's just kind of a grind out on this guy. You will eventually get him down. You see here, it put fear out on the walker, so you don't have to worry about it hitting. And as long as shock's not up, you can go ahead and use that ability, wild lightning ability. It'll definitely do a lot of damage. And this one's a little bit of RNG too. Sometimes you get crit, especially with death mark on characters. It could be a little bit on the dicey side, but after that one's down, it's pretty much cake from here on out. All right, if you've made it through those two, 4 and 5, congratulations, you've got an easier route to get through the rest of this. So this one, you do get, you use your Juhani, but then you get an event Jolie. The main thing here, just go straight after Bastila. Don't worry about the walkers at all. You can throw that fear out, is helpful. Lightning's good. You can get a little extra damage on the other ones, but here I was just mainly focusing on Bastila because she will resummon those walkers if they go down. So this one's pretty easy, to be honest with you. Just kind of focus everything on. Sometimes Juhani will go down. You can use Jolie's healing abilities to kind of help keep that tank up if you want to do that. But other than that, it's pretty much just grind down. If you do lose, just come back in, keep going after Bastila Shanfall, and you will get it down eventually. But I found this one to be quite easy. I don't think that I lost this one at all. Do a little fast forward action here. Alright, so now we're down to Tier 7, the final event. This one is kind of a victory walk as well. It's pretty easy to get through. You're going against a Karth team with your Darth Revan lineup, and it's not too bad to get through. Just throw the fear out. Just kind of use this like you would use a Darth Revan thing. Same deal, I'm trying to go after getting some shocks out there. But I found this to be definitely one of the easier ones for sure. Throw out a big shock. And then the rest of it's just grinding down these characters. Pretty easy to get through. You don't necessarily have to go after Jolie first. I actually think some of the other ones are a little bit more deadly, but he was lower on health, so I went ahead and knocked him out. Go ahead and get some big hits with HK, and then take out Zalabar to finish it off. This event does have a really cool ending here too. I like it a lot. So all this is leading up to the Starforge, which is the Malik event. And that's something I will be doing. I am working on gearing up a lot of these characters right now, so I will do the Malik Unlock event at some point as well. And that is it, guys. That's the event. Hopefully this was helpful walkthrough. Really the hints on the tier 4 and 5 are helpful. And then 3 as well. That one can be difficult if you don't know how to attack that character. But hopefully you guys have now successfully unlocked your Malik. And if this was helpful for you, be sure to hit that like button down below, and I will see you guys in the next video.